Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us in WYLN News. I'm Preston Endress. A man has been taken into custody after police say he took part in a September shooting in Hazleton. According to the Hazleton police, Jeffrey Del Rosario de la Cruz was arrested on November 27th at his place of employment. Officers say the suspect has been charged with aggravated assault and recklessly endangering another person after he allegedly approached a group of individuals inside a sedan and opened fire. According to officials, the shooting took place at the intersection of West 5th Street and North James Street on September 6th. Another male suspect is also believed to have been involved in the shooting. Detectives say Jeffrey Del Rosario de la Cruz was identified as a suspect after his DNA was found at the scene of the crime. Del Rosario de la Cruz is currently behind bars at the Luzerne County Correctional Facility where his bail has been denied. Two suspects wanted in connection with the Denison Township shooting have been taken into custody. Shane Hawk and Robin Sterner have been charged with aggravated assault and recklessly endangering another person after police say they took part in a shooting on Saturday, November 30th. During the incident, police say Stephen Schwieka was shot in the face outside his residence on Pete Moss Road. Schwieka was transported to Geisinger, Wyoming Valley for medical treatment. His condition is unknown at this time. Hawk and Sterner were taken into custody on Tuesday, December 3rd in Lehighton Borough. The two suspects have been transported to the Carbon County Correctional Facility to await their arraignment. 25-year-old Andrew Joseph Quadrochi of Bushkill has been taken into custody after police say he murdered a teenager in Stroudsburg on Saturday. According to officials, the incident took place at the Stroudsburg Wawa located on West Main Street. During the incident, police say multiple individuals became involved in a verbal argument that turned physical and ended with a single shot allegedly being fired by Quadrochi. When officers arrived on the scene, a 17-year-old victim, later identified as Garrett Gearhart, was found with a gunshot wound in the neck. The victim was transported to a local hospital where he later died from his injuries. Police say the suspect had already fled the scene, but was taken into custody on Tuesday after being identified on video surveillance. Quadrochi has been charged with criminal homicide, aggravated assault, and recklessly endangering another person, among other charges. He is currently behind bars at the Monroe County Correctional Facility. Coming up on WYLN News, the Greater Hazleton Chamber of Commerce invites members to an upcoming mixer. Plus, PPL provides some tips for lowering energy bills during the winter season. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the WYLN Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
WYLN News brought to you by Lehigh Valley Health Network Express Care. Now open on the Airport Beltway in Hazel Township. Walk-in care 365 days a year for common illness and minor injuries.
My name is Alexander Bonomo. I'm 12 years old, and don't put your snowblowers away yet because tomorrow's WYLN forecast is snow.
We want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today. F&L Doors, your trusted overhead door supplier for over 50 years, providing quality products and services to Eastern PA and beyond with 2 strategic locations. They carry garage doors from leading manufacturers in the industry like Rayner. They guarantee parts and service for your home or business, from new construction to replacement doors, inspections, and service calls. F&L Doors stands behind every job, taking pride in the work they do. Call 800-344-DOOR or visit F&L Doors online at fldoors.com or visit their showrooms in Hazel Township or Schuylkill Haven.
Your guide to everything Pocono Mountains is PTN, the Pocono Television Network. Watch PTN on WYLN.
Penn State Hazleton is improving the lives of others, starting in our community.
Providing degrees that meet the needs of the area.
Fueling entrepreneurship and contributing more than $36 million annually to the state's economy.
Researching the health of our local ecosystem on the Susquehanna River.
Together, our impact keeps growing, backed by the strength of 24 campuses and 700,000 alumni.
Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve, 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969. Do you like craft beer? Do you want to learn the right way to sample wine? How about checking out a restaurant with a unique flavor or a crazy food challenge? These are just some of the things we are featuring on Wine, Hops, and Road Stops. So, spend some time learning about great wine, great beer, and great food on Wyln TV 35.
Welcome back to WYLN News. The Greater Hazleton Chamber of Commerce has announced an upcoming holiday mixer on Thursday, December 5th. The event will run from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Hazleton Art League located at 31 West Broad Street in Hazleton. During the event, participants are invited to enjoy light refreshments and share in the holiday spirit with the local business community. The mixer is open to all chamber members, their employees, co-workers, and guests. There is no fee to attend, but reservations are required. To register, you can contact the Chamber office at 570-455-1509. With cold weather upon us, PPL Electric Utilities has released some tips to help keep your home warmer and your energy bills down this winter. The first tip is to capture the sun's light and heat. During the day, PPL recommends that residents leave their curtains and blinds open to capture the natural light and heat from the sun. At night, the curtains and blinds can also be closed to help keep the heat from escaping. Another tip is to close the gaps around windows and doors. This can be done by caulking or installing weather stripping. Customers can also use fans to help spread warm air. In the winter, fans should be adjusted to spin clockwise to help push warm air and energy bills downward. Last but not least, it is recommended that customers close the damper on fireplaces inside the home when not in use. It can also be beneficial to utilize energy-efficient fireplace grates that will pull cool air out of the room and bring warm air back in. For additional energy-saving tips, you can visit savewithppl.com. WYLN is kicking off the Christmas season with a variety of holiday programming. This year, we're bringing back all your cooking favorites. You can catch Chef Lou's 2008 and 2009 Christmas specials airing at the dates and times shown on screen. Then we see what's cooking in Granny Rita's kitchen on December 13th, 16th, 18th, 21st, and 23rd. Looking for some tasty appetizers? We have you covered with Ciao Bella beginning on December 7th. Or take a look inside the kitchens of Kathy Cucci and the McDonald's as they whip up some holiday cuisine at the dates and times shown on screen. Then if you're still hungry, we get some baking tips from Jen Yamola beginning on December 7th and 8th. But that's not all. WYLN is also bringing some Hazleton holiday events into your living room with Hazleton's Can Do Christmas on Tuesday, December 10th and throughout the holiday season. You can also watch the Christ Lutheran Church Christmas Eve service beginning at 8 p.m. on Tuesday, December 24th and at 10 a.m. on Wednesday, December 25th. Looking for some holiday cheer? WYLN will be broadcasting a variety of holiday concerts, including the Sounds of the Season, featuring the Hazleton Philharmonic Orchestra. You can catch them on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day at the times shown on screen. Then we take a trip down memory lane with a 1997 holiday performance by the Hazleton Area High School Band on Hometown Holiday. Or you could put on your dancing shoes and join us for a Polka Connection Christmas on December 7th and 11th. When you are done dancing, you can also join us for an exclusive interview with entertainer and piano man Tommy Zito on the Your Life Holiday Special. Or you can learn about the history of St. Nicholas on From Saint to Santa Claus, which will air on December 9th and 11th. You can also join us as we take a deep dive into Jewish holiday traditions with Rabbi Bogage and learn about the significance of Hanukkah on December 10th. Then Santa visits the studio for an exclusive interview on December 9th, 13th, 17th, and 24th. Last but not least, we invite you to explore the biblical Christmas story with the story of the first Noel airing on December 12th. For a full listing of our holiday programming, you can visit the WYLN News Facebook page for all the details. Coming up on Nescopec's News Choice, Chris Fulmer leads us down the path through history with Benton Part 3. Plus, we learn what to do if we see an accident on this week's Wellness Wednesday. And stay right here on WYLN. We'll be right back.
You will love the feel-good feeling you get when you shop at Grand Central in Nescopec and Hazleton. You will enjoy a no-pressure professional sales staff, experienced delivery crew, service after the sale,
and don't forget, everyday low prices.
No matter what you're shopping for in your home, we have you covered with top brand names like Flex Steel, Lazy Boy England, and Dillon Custom Rugs.
With our enormous selection and the flexibility to finance interest-free for up to 60 months, Grand Central makes it easy to make your house a home.
If you're looking for an affordable pre-owned car or truck, Cheers Auto Sales has a great lineup of clean, dependable, and quality vehicles. Stop in at 610 North Broad Street in West Hazleton, 570-454-7229. Cheers is proud to be celebrating 70 years in business.
Contact Pete Casalica for a home and auto quote today.
In preparation for the Christmas season, Antonia's Jewelry and Repair is filled with special collections for this season of joy. We offer a variety of watches, including Bulova. Fine diamond jewelry in yellow, white, and rose gold. Engagement rings that can be custom designed so it is one of a kind. Diamond anniversary bands, rings, pendants, earrings, and more. Full service jewelry and watch repairs. Stop in to see Tony. Let her help you pick the perfect gift. Antonia's Jewelry and Repair, 289 Airport Road in Hazel Township.
Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, maybe even ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. I end up going to a dentist and he wants to charge over $600 for a night guard. That's when I found this, the Brooks Night Guard. This was a game changer. It's smaller than other night guards that I tried, which is a good thing because it doesn't make me gag. It could fit on the top or the bottom of the teeth. It's lightweight and super comfortable. Now the Brooks Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brooks Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Go to brooksnightguard.com and order yours today. Your teeth will thank you for it in the morning.
Go to brooksnightguard.com and use the promo code to activate your special TV offer. That's brooksnightguard.com. Order today and take advantage of this special TV offer. Your teeth will thank you for it in the morning.
This week on Let's Talk Chiropractic, Lanice was in a car accident about 7 months ago. 5 months of care in Philadelphia was not helping her. A co-worker said, "Try us out." She's not there yet, but she is improving. Come listen to her story.
A Path Through History is sponsored by the Old Jail Museum, 128 West Broad Street in Jim Thorpe. Call 570-325-5259 or visit them online at theoldjailmuseum.com.
At the turn of the 20th century, Benton was prospering for a town of its size. The Benton Argus newspaper was founded in 1889 and would continue publication until October 30th, 1969. Benton High School had been founded in 1896, and numerous profitable businesses such as the Long Wagon Works, Benton Shirt Factory, and R.T. Smith Planing Mill operate downtown. The Roy McHenry Whiskey Distillery, however, remained the heart of the community. At this time, it was led by Roy McHenry's younger son, John Geyser McHenry, who had been born April 26, 1868. The younger McHenry, in addition to running the family distillery, would branch out into other businesses as well. A farmer on the side, he planted 30,000 peach trees on his pioneer farms, with the intention of adding peach brandy to the distillery's line of merchandise. Banking also interested McHenry, and he was the founder of several Grange banks throughout Pennsylvania. And in his later years, he became interested in politics as well, being elected to the U.S. House of Representatives in 1906. While in Washington, McHenry served on the House Appropriations Committee and was a champion of agricultural interests, once introducing a bill calling for an agricultural scientist to be appointed in every district where farming was the primary industry. John Geyser McHenry died at the end of his third term in 1912. The 4th of July, 1910, dawned bright and warm in Benton. The town looked forward to a day of celebrating America's independence with a baseball doubleheader with Bloomsburg. After Benton's team won the first game in their town, they took the train south to Bloomsburg for the second game. Other Bentonians celebrate by picnicking in Grassmere Park or traveling 12 miles to nearby Millville to celebrate there. While they enjoyed the holiday, several boys were playing with firecrackers on Center Street near a blacksmith shop owned by George Crossley. One of the firecrackers managed to ignite the hay in a barn behind the shop. The blaze was known by Councilman Clyde Hurleman, who lived nearby. He quickly ran to Borough Hall and rang the town fire bell. By the time he returned, however, the fire consumed multiple barns and was rapidly spreading out of control, abet by a strong north wind and countless wooden shingles on the roofs of all the buildings in its path. Worse, Benton's fire department at that time had only one old-fashioned hand-pump fire wagon, which was barely in working order, and a chemical engine, which was useless against such a fast-spreading fire. Nor did it have a water system, as efforts to install one 4 years prior had been stopped by a court injunction out of fear it would lead to higher taxes. So before long, much of Benton was burning. An SOS went out to other communities in Columbia County before the telegraph office itself burned down. Down in Bloomsburg, once where the fire reached authorities there, officials loaded up a Bloomsburg and Sullivan train with a steam pump and hand car and sped north as fast as it could with a company of volunteer firefighters. Unfortunately, they could do no good in fighting the fire when they arrived in Benton, for Fishing Creek was low with lack of rain the weeks before the 4th of July, and the pumper instead sucked up sand and gravel from the creek when used, eventually breaking down. Nor could town residents and volunteers that raced to Benton from Millville, once word reached there, could do anything. Benton lay in ruins. Among the losses were 48 barns, 38 houses, the Exchange Hotel, a department store, and the Columbia County National Bank apart from its vault. In the aftermath of the Great Benton Fire, the town would receive aid from the surrounding area. Berwick and Bloomsburg each held town meetings that pledged relief money to Benton, while Danville held a benefit baseball game, with the proceeds to be donated to rebuilding the community. And Benton would be rebuilt eventually better than ever. In 1915, a dam was built outside town to hold enough water to fight another fire of the magnitude of the 1910 blaze, to guarantee the disaster would never happen again. Benton would still, however, have to deal with crippling fires in the years following 1910, and it would be less than a year later that another blaze struck at the very heart of the community. In March 1911, a fire broke out inside the Roy McHenry Distillery's supposedly fireproof bond house, where the whiskey was stored until it was properly aged. The 10-story building would be effectively destroyed by the flames. Of the 17,000 barrels of whiskey that were being stored inside the bond house at the time of the fire, only 1 barrel could be saved in the end. While most of the rest of the distillery escaped damage, and the company tried to carry on after the blaze, the financial blow from losing that much good whiskey would prove too much for Roy McHenry, which would file for bankruptcy in 1912. The surviving distillery buildings would be preserved as a museum, although in 1962, another fire that broke out in the former boiler house would destroy the rest of the complex. As Benton benefited from the kindness of their neighboring communities to rebuild after the 1910 fire, one of their own was making his own difference halfway around the world. Frank Laubach had been born in Benton in 1884. He graduated from what was then Bloomsburg Normal School in 1901, and then with a higher degree from Princeton in 1909, where he received the McLean Prize from then Princeton President Woodrow Wilson. A final degree came from Columbia University in 1915. That year, Laubach and his wife, the former Effa Seeley, joined the American Board of Commissioners for Foreign Missions and sailed to the Philippines to work as missionaries. Laubach felt a strong connection to the country, as Effa's cousin Harry Edwards had married a woman from the Philippines, and he would spend the next 15 years as a missionary there. He worked primarily with the Philippines' Moro population, who traditionally practiced Islam and were strongly resistant to conversion. Laubach did his best to reach out to the Moros, and while he was doing so, he realized they did not have a written language. He transcribed the 16 sounds of the Moro dialect into Roman letters and used them to translate nearly 1,300 words into the local Maranao language. He then further realized that these translations could be used to teach the Moros to read their own language. His method of phonetically combining letters and pictures into charts proved successful, and in 1935 Laubach began teaching literacy in other countries. Over the next 40 years, he would create literacy systems for 312 languages in over 100 countries. He would use what he calls the Each One Teach One system to spread literacy, in which each adult that learned to read would then take the time to reach others to read as well. When Laubach retired in 1955, he continued his work through Laubach Literacy International, the World Literacy Committee, and others. Frank Laubach died in 1970 and today rests in Benton Cemetery. His efforts are believed to have taught over 60 million people worldwide how to read. For his efforts, Frank Laubach received a postage stamp in 1984, to date the only American missionary to have this honor.
Your guide to everything Pocono Mountains is PTN, the Pocono Television Network. Tune in and see all the unique places to stay and things to do in the Pocono Mountains. Watch PTN on WYLN.
SJ Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Renai, and trained comfort specialists, call SJ Kowalski at 570-455-2600. Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969.
In preparation for the Christmas season, Antonia's Jewelry and Repair is filled with special collections for this season of joy. We offer a variety of watches, including Bulova. Fine diamond jewelry in yellow, white, and rose gold. Engagement rings that can be custom designed so it is one of a kind. Diamond anniversary bands, rings, pendants, earrings, and more. Full service jewelry and watch repairs. Stop in to see Toni. Let her help you pick the perfect gift. Antonia's Jewelry and Repair, 289 Airport Road in Hazel Township.
Hi, welcome to Wellness Wednesday. Today I am on Holly Street in Hazleton at LVHN's EMS station, and I'm here with Mike Probilla, who is the manager of our EMS here in Hazleton. Welcome, Mike.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So the holiday season is upon us, and we thought it would be a great idea to share with you some tips on when we travel during the holidays, the hustle, the bustle. We're all going somewhere, whether it be shopping or traveling to visit with families. So Mike, let's share your expertise as an emergency medical person about what people should know about when they're out there traveling. So like, what kind of emergencies do you usually see, especially during the holidays?
Yeah, so accidents are probably our most prevalent during the holidays. You know, we have our normal medical emergencies that we respond to every day, and some of those can become more prevalent, but definitely travel is probably the most prevalent, which makes for, you know, more incidents of accidents on our highways. Weather plays a factor into that a lot, of course. As we come into the holiday season, the weather gets a little bit colder, some rain, some ice, some snow, and it just obviously the large amount of vehicles on the roadway as well. So all of that combining together makes our accidents probably the most prevalent during the holiday season.
So what can we do to reduce these risks of accidents and emergencies while we travel?
Yeah, so the biggest thing is probably just take your time. You know, plan ahead. Make sure that you're not rushing to try and get somewhere is probably a big thing. Keep your speeds at a regular speed, or if it is bad weather, lower speed. You know, and plan around that weather. I know our holidays don't always work around plans of everybody else or even the weather, but you know, if you don't have to travel on a bad weather day, don't. or travel later in the day or earlier in the day, depending on the weather.
So say you are traveling, especially maybe out of town or a little bit further, what can you prepare to keep yourself and your family or whoever is with you safe?
Yeah, so obviously, you know, most people tend to keep a small supply of something in their vehicles, no matter what time frame it is. But I would highly recommend, you know, maybe a change of clothes, warmer clothes, obviously, in the winter, a blanket, maybe some snacks and drinks as well. You don't know if you're going to get stranded on the side of the road, or if you are in an accident, the availability to have that stuff until first responders come. And then obviously also telling somebody where you're traveling, time of arrival or planned time arrival or route that you're planning on taking. All that is important. So if you end up on the side of the road stranded or in an accident and you can't get to a phone, somebody understands, hey, they're supposed to be here 20 minutes ago, they're not here yet, maybe we can call somebody and have them found.
And you know, another thing I discovered, and I use this with my family, is you can actually share your location, whether it be for an hour or for a day or something like that on your phone when you are traveling, so then they can see exactly where you are. So should something happen, you can basically know exactly where they are. And you know, you and I were talking previously about mile markers on the interstate too. Just kind of being aware of in what vicinity you are and what was the last mile marker maybe you had seen, so you can give emergency services a better indication of where you're located.
Yeah, another side of that is if you're not on the interstate, if you're just on a general highway, cross streets, keep an eye on what streets you're passing by. You know, if you have to call 911, you can call them and say, you know, I'm half a mile ago, I passed this street. That kind of gives them a better idea. It tells first responders, hey, they're a mile north of this cross street. But mile markers definitely on the interstate are very important. And those apps, like you said, there's apps out there. Life 360 is an app I know that can be used. Google Maps, you can share your location to your friends and family. So all good stuff. You can share your planned route and everything.
So what happens, I'm driving along and I encounter a motor vehicle accident, and what should I do, you know, to help or not help? Like, what should I do?
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough if you're not in our line of work, where it's kind of our priority to stop. Most first responders wouldn't think twice. They would stop and just do the jobs that they have to do. However, you know, as a general citizen of the public, you know, you have a couple options. So option number one is if you're feeling like you can do it and you want to stop and help, feel free. Take a look at your surroundings, make sure it's safe, make sure you're off the side of the road, that you're not going to become a part of the accident. Make sure you know your location. So if you're calling 911, you can tell them your location. And then, you know, if it goes to rendering aid to somebody, just make sure that the vehicle is safe to be around, that it's not going to roll or that it's not on fire or something like that. You know, if you need to, you can always yell to somebody, ask them if they're injured. You don't need to be right on the vehicle. So that's option number one. Option number two is, you know, calling 911, finding the location, maybe stopping but not actually rendering any care or attempting to render care. Sit in your car in a safe place until first responders show up. That's perfectly fine too. You're at least notifying. And then the third option, which all seem to be the same, is call 911. Call 911, give a location, and just continue on. You don't need to stop.
Well, thank you so much, Mike, for all this valuable information. Be safe out there when you're traveling. Get to your destination so your family can enjoy the memories you all share during the holidays. And thank you for watching Wellness Wednesday.
You're watching WYLN TV 35,